Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Ventura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, we're welcoming Scott Thomsen. He is the new Director of Communications and Public Affairs with the Ventura County Fire Department. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Thank you, Sandra. It's great to be here.
Let's get started. I'd like you to talk today about some of the information on the new program with Ventura Fire on the distribution of dual smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for residents.
Sure. We were fortunate to receive a $205,000 grant from FEMA to support the installation of dual alarms that look out for both smoke and carbon monoxide in your home in order to help folks throughout the county in the areas that we serve that are considered at high risk for fires and or lack reliable alarms for both smoke and carbon monoxide.
Okay, great. And with this new program that's going to be started, let's talk a little bit about who can get these and who is going to be in the area that they will be distributed in.
Sure. So in particular, we're looking for seniors who are 65 and over, or young people 14 and under, low-income families, and residents who are hard of hearing. We serve the entire county with the exception of the city of Ventura and the city of Oxnard, which has their own individual fire departments. Oxnard is partnering with us in this effort, though, so we'll even be able to help residents in that area.
Okay. So you're mentioning that this grant money came from FEMA. So is this something that will be an ongoing project?
Well, it'll be, we have this project for the time being. These grants have been a regular part of what FEMA has done. There's no guarantee that, that money is going to be available next year or not. But if it is, we will continue to go after it because programs like this have been so helpful in our community. Not just with this, but we have sought grant funding for things like car seats and other things as well. And that's part of getting our federal tax dollars to work here in Ventura County.
Good. With these alarms, how many do you expect to have in homes for this area?
Our goal is to install 1,500 of them. These are long-term alarms. I have one, here. This is exactly what they look like.
Okay.
They have a 10-year battery, in place. So this is one of those install it and you can, forget about it kind of things, except for making sure once a month that you test it to make sure that it's still working.
Great.
In addition to that, we hope to install 300 alarms that are specially designed to assist the hard of hearing. It has several components to it that gives you basically a pager so that you get a buzz. There's a strobe light that is associated with that so that they get the cues that something is going on that you or I would get from the sound. Oh,
I see. Great. Now, do you have people that come out and actually install them in the home, or is it up to the resident to do that?
Some of those details are being worked out because the COVID restrictions that are in place right now are making a whole lot of programs like this kind of challenging to pull off. So we're in the process of figuring out what our distribution system is going to be and whether that's going to be come down, pick them up, we do some education on site and you take them home, or whether we're going to do in-home distributions. That's all to be determined.
I see. And you're mentioning now that it will be available to certain age groups and to certain residents. If somebody else wants to get one, can they go on a list for a later date, or how will that work?
That's an excellent question. It's a possibility. I mean, it's also, if you're not in one of those categories, the thought would be that you might have already gone down to Home Depot and bought one for yourself.
True.
We would certainly encourage everybody that has the means to get one of these to have one in their home. They're great safety mechanisms, for you. I think everybody is kind of, consciously aware of how a smoke alarm, can be beneficial to you to give you that extra time to get out of your home if there is a fire. That's kind of the easiest part of it. a lot of us don't think about carbon monoxide. It's invisible. You can't smell it. By the time you notice it, it might be too late, and it might be a fatal situation. Carbon monoxide, is developed anytime you have an incomplete burning of, natural gas, wood, other, natural, products. So barbecue grills create them. Even gas stoves, if they're not operating properly, can. If your gas fireplace or your fireplace isn't operating and the flue's not open, that can cause a buildup. And a car's exhaust can do that. Any number of things. So if you have the alarm, it can tell you that, hey, there's a buildup and you need to get out of the area so that it can get ventilated and make it safe again. It's something that a lot of us don't think about, but it's really a big safety issue, and that's part of why we're going with a dual alarm system here.
So basically, you're going to be distributing one alarm per household, as you're mentioning. And where would this be placed? Is it in a hallway or in the back of the house, the front of the house? Where is the best place?
Actually, so depending on your house, you might want more than one of them.
Okay.
But you definitely want to have one in open areas outside of your bedrooms, and then also in any areas where you might have, if you've got a gas fireplace, if you've got some of those other pieces inside your home, you would want to have one in one of those rooms, because that's the likeliest place of buildup from carbon monoxide.
Okay. And it is important that, as you're stressing, that the carbon monoxide, as well as the smoke alarm, is an extremely important thing to place in your home. Some people may not realize it, but both are extremely important.
Yes, I mean, it's not a common thing for your house to catch fire, right? But it's one of those things that, in the event that bad thing does take place, you want to give yourself and your family every opportunity to get out safely. The smoke alarm is the opportunity to give you that extra time, especially if it's middle of the night. You're asleep when something takes place elsewhere in the house. Doors can slow the spread of fire and give you that opportunity to get out. But if you're not awoken, it may be too late. So this is the kind of thing that everybody should have one of these in their homes, and we want to make sure that those folks who might be challenged to otherwise have already gone out and gotten one themselves, that we can help fill that gap.
Now, with the distribution of the alarms, is there any kind of education program that talks about how, as you're mentioning, the benefits will be extremely important to people in both Spanish and English?
Right. So we're going to be distributing that kind of information along with the alarms as we get this set up. And Sandra, you're really early on the curve. We really love you for doing that, being out ahead of things this way. So I wish I had all of those details, but some of what that's going to look like, we're still developing. But we certainly are going to have materials available to explain where to put it, how to do the installations, the importance of them, why you want to do this, and having those in both English and Spanish.
Very good. If it's possible, could you please share a little bit more information on possibly the website, the phone number, where folks out there could get more information should they want to be a part of this?
Sure. If you're interested in being a part of this, you can certainly give us a phone call at 805-914-3263. And at this point, we're kind of taking names of folks who are interested so that we can kind of build that up in advance once we get our distribution system figured out. You can also go to vcfd.org and just do the search for smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors, and it'll take you right to the page that has all of the details there on, and it'll have information there also about why these are important. And so you can learn a little bit more about that, how they work, where to put them, that kind of thing.
So basically, when you go to the website, do you have to register your address, or how would you know you?
We don't have a sign up set there yet. If you want to do that, give us a call at the number that I provided, 805-914-3263. And we can start creating a list of folks that have interest, so that once we get that in place, we can get back in touch with you and let you know here's how it's going to run.
Very good. Extremely helpful to so many residents here. So we look forward to that program beginning. So thank you very much, Scott Thomsen of the Ventura County Fire Department, for sharing more on this important campaign. Thank you so very much.
Sandra, thank you so much for having me here. I look forward to having other opportunities in the future to do the same.
Great. And thank all of you for joining us today on Our Ventura TV. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.